established 2 cave pallis for Jinaraja, the Tirthankara. In the same record, the names of Dravida Sangha, Jinendra Sangha, Nandi Sangha and Arungalavanya and the name of the Mandalacharya Vajranandi Yogindra, who caused to be constructed a flight of steps to reach the cave palli, are mentioned. With this distinction, we backtrack to Desur. In Desur temple, recently a Manastamba, a monolith pillar in the front yard of the temple behind the Bali Peetham, was added. From Desur to Tellar, we come across a number of Jain villages. In Tellar itself, there is a structural temple and inscriptions. Nearby is Kudalur. Here, recently a tall sculpture of Lord Rishabha was consecrated by the chief of Kolhapur Jain Mutt in Maharashtra. The structural temple in the village is ancient and the front mandapam painted with important pilgrimage centers, the Siddha Kshetras. After Kudalur Darshan, we are on the road to Vandavasi. On both sides, small roads lead to villages with structural Jain temples. One such village is Yelangad. The temple in the village is an ancient one with bronzes and sculptures. One of the bronzes, the idol of Lord Neminatha, is important. It is believed to be the idol worshipped in the Mylapore Jain temple. There is an inscription at the base of the idol in the Peetham. It informs that it belonged to Tirumailapuri and Acharya Jinasena's name is added. Another tradition points to the idol of Yakshi Dharmadevi, also from Mylapore temple. The Sarvana Yakshan was supposed to have dispatched to Jain Mutt at Sravana Belagola. Ponnur, Vangaram and Kirsatamangalam are the other villages nearby. The Kirsatamangalam was patronized by Nandivarman II, a Pallava king in the 8th century AD. This village near the town of Vandavasi has an ancient structural temple with a huge Manastamba and inscriptions. The inscriptions are seen on an open rock called Perumal Pare. They refer to the Lord Chandranatha temple as Vimalasri Arya Tirthapalli. The Chola king Parandaganda I, the Madurai Konda Koperungesari Varman, took Tondai Nadu from the Pallavas. Even during his rule, this Jain Palli received royal support. As we come out of Kirsatamangalam onto the Chetpet road, one can spot a hill called Neelagiri, the Ponnur Malai. Neelagiri is hallowed with the memories of Acharya Kunda, a leader of Jaina Agamic Renaissance. At the foot of the hills, there are complexes of structural modern temples under worship. The top of the hill is sanctified with the footprints of Acharya Kunda, who wrote Samayasara, Panchastikayasara, Pravasanasara and other 80 works. Tamil Jains believe him to be the author of Tirukkural. In commemoration of this, a Mani Mandapam has been constructed. There are 3 centers of worship in the foothills. Kunda Nagar. There is a Kunda ashram with Bhagavan Adinatha temple, Samavasarana temple and Yati Nivas. Vishakhacharya Tapovan is another center of religious activities with an 8-angled temple dedicated to Ajitanatha, the second Tirthankara. Another recently developed Kunda center is a Sri Mandaraswamy temple in Gujarati style. There is one more temple in the campus of Acharya Kunda, ITI, dedicated to Lord Munisvrata, the 20th Tirthankara. Neelagiri Hill is in the center of Jaina villages of the Vandavasi Taluk in the Tiruvannamalai district. Many families have migrated to the Vandavasi town. Here they have arranged a place of worship in the first floor of the Jain Chautri, the Mahavir Jain temple. Tamil Jain families living in the town visit this temple for daily worship. Most of the Jain villages in and around Vandavasi all belong to the ancient Venkundranadu. This division is based on the village with the same name, Venkundram. It is one of the Jain villages and 2 kilometers from Vandavasi. Here there is a structural temple under worship dedicated to Lord Parshvanatha. The architectural style of this temple in the present form belongs to the 15th and 16th century AD. There are a large number of bronzes of Tirthankaras and Yakshaks and Yakshinis. One of the Tirthankara sculptures placed inside a small mandapam in the east side of the prakara exhibits features of antiquity. The sculptural style points to the 8th century AD. It is said that this sculpture was brought from the nearby Vazhuvur. From Venkundram, another 5-kilometer travel, one can reach the Veera Kerala Perumpalli at the Salukkai. The inscription in Vishnu temple of this village informs that there existed a Jaina Palli. Pondi Muratpuli has consecrated the main idols in the Vishnu temple, Shiva temple, Veera Kerala Perumpalli and Ambala Nangai Durga temple. This inscription is dated in the Rajendra Chola rule in 1020 AD. He has also endowed lands and house plots for the employees' housing. At present, the only main deity, Lord Rishabha, is preserved and a new temple constructed and maintained by devotees of Pondicherry. In the year 1980, a rich collection of the copper idols were unearthed from the village and are kept in the Velur District Museum. The devotees are performing the puja to the Lord Rishabha and singing the devotional songs to the accompaniment of mantras. Pulavar Jambu Kumar is leading the devotees. In the border of the Tiruvannamalai district and near town Tiruvannamalai is the Somasipadi, another Jain village. A good number of Jain families live in the village and worship Lord Shantinatha in the ancient structural temple. Recently, a number of smaller shrines have been added for the Yakshas and Yakshis. A village called Vadudalakulam, a corrupt form of Vaduvilangundru, is seen at a distance of 20 kilometers north of Tiruvannamalai. There is a big cave with stone beds and a bas-relief of a Tirthankara in the Padmasana posture. The 3-lined inscription tells that one has renovated the sculpture with mortar. It refers to the place by an old name, Mendarayur. The style of the script indicates that the inscription belongs to the 13th century AD. The Tirthankara is called Marudu Pirasurai Devar in the inscription. The art style of the sculpture is earlier than the script style, so it is presumed that sculpture belongs to earlier period, most probably to the 8th and 9th century AD. It is possible that the damaged lines of the inscription contained the donor's name, which we are not able to know. Arani is the taluk with large number of Jain villages, next only to Vandavasi in Tiruvannamalai district. With Arani as the centre, there are a number of villages with Jain families. In the Arani town itself, there are 3 structural temples. On the Arani Arcot Road is the village with a 13th century structural temple. It is called Pundi Veera Veera Jinalaya. Till recently, annual Brahmotsava was conducted in this temple. The temple has a typical Jinalaya architecture with a number of shrines for Yakshis and Yakshas in the prakara. The inscription in this temple belongs to a Sambhuvaraya chief, a vassal of a Chola king. There is a traditional story that 2 hunters, Idumban and Pandan, were instrumental in bringing out the importance of this temple. The site of the temple is called Irumbedu. Now the temple is in disrepair. The Moolavar is worshipped as Ponninadar. It is the name of the Mahavira in this temple. There is an artistically carved sculpture of Lord Parshvanatha in a separate enclosure. The Manastamba and Dwajastamba are prominent